What's up YouTube, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video we're going to recap the entire SCX24 Jeep Wrangler build that's been going along on the channel. So this is an Axial SCX24 Jeep Wrangler in yellow, and it's come a long way. So this is episode 15 of the build. So in episode 1 we had the unboxing with Dan and Chris, and we were out in the front yard and kind of just playing around with it. That day was pretty fun. I got this little Jeep Wrangler at a hobby shop in Lake Elsinore. They were pretty hard to find, so I was pretty lucky to find one, and I just got it on the fly and kind of surprised Chris with it. So we had a good day that day. We stayed out all night, probably till 9 o'clock. I'm playing with the SCX24, so really had a good time getting that guy. In the second episode of the playlist is SCX24 Jeep Wrangler stock crawling. So in this video I pretty much just crawled the SCX24 in the backyard, bone stock. I enjoy driving the truck stock because you can compare that time you drove it to afterwards when you start modifying it, so you can see if the modifications are actually increasing its performance, and it's just a good scale to base the improvements off of. In episode 3 of the Jeep build, we did the Diff Covers. So they're aluminum Diff Covers. They're KYX Diff Covers. They're around $20 together. I wouldn't recommend these Diff Covers if you're trying to go for performance upgrades because they really don't add any weight. I mean, they are aluminum. I assume aluminum's a little bit heavier than plastic, but compared to the hot racing brass Diff Covers or any Diff Cover out there that's brass, performance just really isn't there. It's more for the looks. I wanted to have something red down below the truck just to kind of give it a little bit of a different look. Personally, I don't like looking at the brass, so that's why I went with the red. So for the 4th episode of the build, we did the SCX24 high clearance suspension links. So these links, I found them off of Etsy. They're around, I want to say $9 to $10. They're pretty cheap. And I got them off some guy off of Etsy. He 3D prints them, so it's pretty cool that you can do that in your own house and stuff like that. So I got them. And for these links, you need to use your old ball joints from your stock links. So you have to pop them out and then put them in your new ones, which, it works. But I really wasn't expecting that. Luckily, I had the stock balls, so it wasn't too big of a conversion. Overall, comparing those 3D printed links to the hot racing ones, unfortunately, I like the hot racing ones a little bit more, not gonna lie. I don't know, they just add weight, and they just feel sturdier compared to the 3D printed link down below. No hard feelings or anything, if I would do it again, I probably wouldn't. So, for episode 5, we did the hot racing shock upgrade. So these shocks were the spring shocks, and I upgraded them. I believe the shocks were $25. I was super excited because I changed the ride height. I moved the shock mounting points from the shock towers to the frame, so it gave up a little bit more of a lift on the Jeep, and I was pretty excited. I soon come to find out that the springs that come with the shocks are a little bit too stiff for my liking, so I ended up switching from the silver shocks to the black ones, which are a little bit softer, and that greatly improved the crawling capabilities in the later videos. So yeah, great mod, but I definitely go use the black spring because they're a little bit softer. In episode 6 of the build, we did the hot racing 4mm axle upgrade. So this added 4mm to the axles, so it increased the stance of the Jeep. Honestly, this was a pretty cool upgrade. One of my favorite ones of the build, in my opinion. It increased the width of the truck, and it also kind of challenged me a little bit in my mechanic skills, so I really enjoyed that. It wasn't too expensive of a mod, and that mod also allowed me to do a later mod in the build, so I kind of built off of that, so I was pretty excited for that modification. Episode 7 of the build featured Adaptive Designs 3D printed scale accessories, so that included the snorkel, the tire mount in the back with the gas cans, the roof rack, the mirrors, and the rock sliders, which all of them fit perfectly on the truck. Definitely liking the way they add scale realism to the truck. Pretty cool stuff. Did some minor modifications here and there, but overall great fit on everything. Definitely enjoyed the scale accessories that were added to the Jeep. Definitely would recommend them. I'll put his link in the description down below if you want to check those scale accessories out, or if you want to go check out that video, I'll put it in the cards. So episode 8 of the build I had been avoiding for a long time. I wanted to do it for the C10 build and I never came around to it. And I knew I wanted to do it for this build, but I just thought it was too much for me to handle and I was completely overreacting. So I did the Hot Racing brass steering knuckles, which were super easy to install. I thought it'd be a lot harder for some reason. Just something with all the links up front kind of just intimidated me, but that was a simple install. It added weight up front to the truck where you want that 60-40 ratio. So definitely a great install on the truck. Really nothing to it really. It was super easy. I thought it'd be a lot harder for some reason, but I'm glad I did it. And I'm glad I added that weight up front, down low on the Jeep. So for episode 9 of the build, we did the Trial steering link up front and we got in red. So in the last build I did the Hot Racing steering link in black and I just wanted to do something red. Like I said, with the Diff Cover it's red, so I wanted to do the Trial link in red. This is my first Trial product. I like the quality of it. Trial gives you stickers, which is pretty sick. They're growing their brand. They're a small little company, so it was kind of cool to support them. I definitely like the link. There's really nothing I gotta say about it. It does what it does. It works fine. Yeah, overall, I would recommend that part, of course, to a friend. So episode 10 of the build was the Emac Servo. So I did the Emac Servo upgrade on the last build. So this is the only part that I redid for this build series. It's just a little bit harder to find a small micro server that is compatible with the SCX24. And I was kind of lazy, so I just kind of did the same servo on this build. Definitely upgrading the servo is a must if you're going to upgrade weight to the truck or add any brass to it, because putting all that servo pressure is definitely going to wear out your old one. Viewers did point out that I should trim the corners of my servo, which I mean I completely forgot about. I don't know why I didn't do it, so I have to do that still. But overall, the Emac Servo is a great upgrade. That's probably a necessity for these little trucks down the road. So no issues there. Had the Emac before, I did it again. Possibly will do it again in the future. So definitely recommend the Emac Servo. So episode 11, like I said earlier in the video, it kind of required me to do the steel axle 4mm Hot Racing upgrade before, so I could do this upgrade. So the axle weights added 5 grams of weight to each corner of the truck, and so you can't do the steel axle upgrade unless you do the 4mm axle upgrade, because included with those axles is a spacer, and so you need that spacer, or you need that space on the axle to use the Hot Racing axle weights. So that weight replaces that spacer on the axle, and that allows you to use the spacers, or use the weights. So if you don't do the axle upgrade, you can't do the spacer upgrade. So, or if you don't do the axle upgrade, you can't do the weight upgrade. So you got to do one before the other. So if you plan on doing that, make sure you know what you're doing, because you don't want to buy parts and won't be able to use them and have to wait to order some more parts. But the weight definitely added to the truck. I was planning on doing some full send RC wheel weights, but I didn't want to add too much weight to the truck, so I didn't do that. So I have that saved for another build down the road. But axle weights are great. You can see the brass. It's awesome. Don't have any complaints. Pretty simple install. Would recommend. So episode 12 of the build was just backyard crawling once again. I wanted to go outside and just see how the mods have progressed and added performance to the Jeep. Definitely had a lot of fun in the backyard filming that one. That one, I remember I got sunburnt that day because I was outside so much trying to do this little line, and I couldn't do it. I was so mad. Ended up not using the footage, but I was so pissed because the springs, the Hot Racing springs, were way too stiff. And so after that video, I changed them, of course. But had fun. It's always fun out crawling. So episode 13 of the build was a course. So I built a course with skewers and some painter's tape, and I pretty much just put them in my backyard. Me and my brother went out. We did a little time trial. He beat me once. I beat him. We had a lot of fun. The video wasn't really filmed very well because it's kind of hard to get down and hunch over and record these little trucks because they're so small. So I definitely, if I'm going to do a video like that in the future, I'm going to have to upgrade on the way I film it, because that was just unacceptable. Definitely can improve on it in the future. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. Definitely gonna have to do another one of those in the future with maybe Chris too. So that'll be cool. So episode 14 of the build was the Patagonia RC 4-wheel drive steel bead locks upgrade. that one I was saving for last because that one's just so much fun. That upgrade, it's probably the most rewarding one. It's always the most fun to upgrade your wheels and tires. That's a necessity if you're going to actually be driving these SCX24s. I mean, the stock ones are cool, but doing these upgrades, that's a necessity. That's probably one of the most needed upgrades to these little rigs. They add weight down low and they add grip, so you can definitely crawl the heck out of those things. The only sad thing about this is that I got these Patagonias after I got home from the Sharky micro meetup, so I was pretty bummed about that, but that would have been cool to have those there. But at that meet I had so much fun, met some cool people. Definitely gonna go to one of those again in the future. I'm very excited. So yeah, this is the build. Had a lot of fun building this. I have a couple more build themes in the future. I'm thinking I'm gonna do another Jeep. I want to do like a custom body. So if you guys have any ideas, comment down below, because I really want to get into something different. What else do I gotta say? These little rigs are so much fun. I've really had so much fun building these and making these videos. Through the process of making these videos, I've kind of learned how to do thumbnails and stuff like that, and add my links and time codes and stuff like that. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but the autofocus on this camera is kind of noisy and it's kind of erratic at times. So I'm definitely working on getting rid of that autofocus bug. What else? Guys, if you have any ideas, or if you have any criticisms that you want to let me know, comment below. I'm always have my ears open to criticisms. Definitely want to improve these videos for you guys. But yeah, I'm thinking about doing a viewer build. So like the viewers choose what I build. So if that sounds interesting, let me know. Probably make a community post about that in the near future. But overall, I'm glad I did this build. Yeah, so thanks for watching, thanks for following along. Definitely, if you have any questions, check out the playlist, and if those questions aren't answered, you can always comment. I always respond to all the comments. Love to do that. So yeah, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, thanks for following along. Appreciate all the support. I will see you guys in the next build. Hopefully it's something super awesome. Yeah, peace.